Stafford approaching top 5 all time if they win the Super Bowl? Is Leinart onto something?
Hey, so the thing about it, man, is number one, I'm a 49ers fan. You know, the Rams just got back, and I do love LA. I do think Matt is on to something, man. I was really close with Matt when he was at SC, man, and we got our, we go over the years, we've been back and forth about football and sports in general. But Matt's a smart guy, man. He might be on to something.
All right, well, then let's stick with your 49ers then. Are we feeling better about your Niners after taking down the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, or with no George Kittle, maybe feeling a little nervous about their path to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I just feel like we got a good shot at the Super Bowl, like we always do, right? Like I think every year we're going to the Super Bowl. But this year feels great, man. I was on I don't know if you know Gilly and Wallow, but I've been trolling them on Instagram about, about the Niners and the Eagles, like, every year. And so this year we were able to really just knock those guys out. I think we're gonna run through the Seahawks. Like we're gonna run through the Seahawks. The Rams, they got bear down, and yeah, it's gonna be crazy over there. But I can't wait to get to the Super Bowl to see who we play.
Yeah, see, I love talking about this stuff game because like it's all about who's in your phone, right? You're a 49ers fan. So when the 49ers are playing, you're pulling out the phone. Like you got famous people in your phone. Who's the trustworthy, like I just gotta blow off some steam, this game isn't going right. Like who's the go-to trustworthy, and then who's the go-to, man, I'm gonna talk my talk.
I think the trustworthy is like my core friend group. I think over the years, because of how the Raiders and the Rams kind of were in LA and then dipped out, and then Chargers were down there in Dago, now they're up here. Like we get like football just like forces you to make like drastic life decisions as far as like who you love in this city, right? Because everything's coming and going. But as far as the Niners, I think I've done a good job with being able to get my kids on the bandwagon and my close friends. So if we're on something, I really got to just hit my group chat, my Niner group chat, which consists of my sons and my friends and stuff like that. But if I'm going smack talk, and I'm going straight to Gilly and Wallow every single time. Those guys, they think they know football, but they don't know football like I know football. So it's always good to show those guys, man.
That is just the best when you can just rub it in a rival's fan's face. But well, let's talk Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey for a minute, because he is just shy of 1,000+ yard rushing season, just shy of 1,000 yard receiving season, his 1,200 rushing yards in the season. Should we be talking more about CMC as MVP?
I think that, I love to just like really go crazy for my guys, but I'm in this like I don't want to jinx anything, so I'm really in appreciation mode, and I'm waiting for the 17th, and I want to see what the Seahawks gonna bring. I think CMC is gonna be great, man. I just can't wait to see it, play out, in the near future.
All right, so here's a life would you rather for you in this situation. What would the game rather do? Be on the sideline watching the San Francisco 49ers win the Super Bowl at home this year, or get to be part of the halftime show?
You know what, for
Ooh.
me, man, I think that you got these great performers, like what Kendrick did at the halftime show. That was amazing. Before I seen Rihanna do one, I seen Usher. I think I'm a sideline guy, man. I think that all the theatrics and I just don't got the dance moves that those Michael Jackson dance moves, man. I'm kind of a chill guy, so on the sideline, it'll be the sideline for me.
All right, so you are LA through and through. You've lived in LA for a massive portion of your life. I know you're a huge Lakers fan as well. But we did uncover this. Our researcher, producers extraordinaire did uncover this photo of you in a Rams jersey. Explain that to all the Niners fans out there.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so here's the thing. When again, I'm LA through and through. And so that there it is, right? And so what happened was when the Rams first got back and they were playing at the Coliseum, they would invite like, me and Candace Parker and YG and a bunch of other LA stars. And they would give you a jersey, and just it was so exciting to have the team back. And I had to explain this photo to a lot of people, but I don't know. I think I look good in the Rams jersey too. And you know what? It's okay to support your city's teams, but the Rams left me for St. Louis, and I left them for San Francisco. So I mean, I think we 6-7 in it out these days.
As somebody who's from St. Louis, I also can feel that. The Rams left LA for St. Louis. Rams left me in St. Louis for LA, so I totally
Yeah.
understand that. Which Rams jerseys are better though? The one that you were wearing there or the ones that they're wearing now?
I think I think the old school. I mean, but I'm an
They're
old school
good.
guy. I just think those old school. I actually love the royal blue and like the yellow, the super old Rams jersey. I think that those
Mhm.
were dope. A lot of the new stuff they're doing, it just it's like everything else. It's just losing that old school feel. So I'm always gonna go with the OG jersey.
Man, I feel you though. The minute you took the picture in that jersey, you know you're going to get grief the rest of your this is true. Like many years ago, I was a musician. I played the national anthem for the Raiders, and there's a rival for the Raiders. I played it on the fiddle, right? And so they gave me a jersey. I've got it hanging up in my house. It's a cool moment for me. One of the rival teams asked me to play the anthem, and the first thing I asked them was like, "Well, do I have to wear a jersey?" And they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do it because I'll never hear the end of it." I love this. All right,
Yeah.
so where since you're LA through and through, you're Lakers through and through, but you've got a 49ers like portion of your fandom. So where are you on Lakers versus Golden State thing? Because like man, it would have been easier to be a Golden State fan the last 10 years than it has been a Lakers fan.
Yeah, so when I was younger, my elders, especially my grandmother, she would take me to a lot of Laker games when they were playing at the Forum, and so I got to see, Magic and Kareem and Byron Scott.
Mm.
Yes, I'm that old. I'm just, I'm packing it on well. But yeah, I got to see the primetime Lakers, and so when after, Kobe came, and then, we got the Kobe and Shaq thing, like that just solidified it for me. Being an LA kid, that was a dream, man, to watch your team just win championship after championship. And then, again, me and Kobe, we were good friends. And so his passing really hurt me. And then LeBron coming in after that and keeping us going and with the guys over the years, like AD and everybody. And now we got Luca. Like it was just, the Lakers, man, we're always in good shape. And I would never be a Golden State fan. I don't care who leaves what.
Attaboy, attaboy.
Yeah, no, I understand that for sure, but I probably wouldn't be a Clippers fan either.
I'm
They've
not a
maybe
Clippers
turned
fan.
things around.
Yeah, no, I'm not a
Are
Clippers
we
fan.
are we buying into their recent winning streak?
I think the Clippers win again. Anything in LA winning is just good for the hometown people. And I appreciate the Clippers hanging out with us for a little while. But this is a Laker town, and it will always be.
All right, so I love lists, and you put out a list, your own top 100 LA rappers list, which, by the way, has to be wildly difficult considering how many legends have come out of there. You humbly put yourself fifth,
Truly.
by the way, which I respect the hell out of. Like that's it.
Yeah.
But what's it like? Talk to me a little bit about like the influence of some of those guys and what they meant to your life, because I think it's interesting that whole chapter when you talk about Snoop and Tupac and guys like that. Doesn't matter what kind of music you make, they influenced it. What do those guys mean to you?
I think Snoop Dogg notably is one of my best friends inside and outside of music. When I came in, he was the first person to really extend his arms and like reel me in and teach me and show me and like really make the pupil in me like respect the game that much more. And Tupac, who I never got a chance to meet, was of course, man, one of my biggest inspirations. Ice Cube, hometown guy that has transcended, from the streets to music into sports, man, and is always going to be a super duper big brother role model type of guy for me. And then everybody else on the list, it's just fitting, the things that again that Kendrick has, done over the last few years. And I mean, even before that, man, getting his just due is really cool to me. I'm just in support of like, everything LA, the city, the artists, the art, the people, just this is home, man.
And you've been able to be at the top of the rap game for more than 20 years, but
The
it's
very
changed a
top.
lot. The very top, absolutely. It's changed a lot. Look, the rap game has changed, music has changed, how you stay relevant, how you get hits has changed. What has been the biggest change in your mind?
I think the biggest change in my mind, if I can be 100% transparent with you, is just that
Yeah.
I think as artists, as technology, just elevates, I think we lose a little bit of just emotion and what was real. Like the new songs don't necessarily feel like the old songs used to make us feel. And I'm not saying that to, kick anybody. I'm just saying that when going through the creative process as a whole, as a human race, I think we need to get back in touch with the heart a little bit more.
Dude, that's like the way you say that. It's always remarkable. My first record deal, never had the success you had, obviously, but my first record deal was in '96, and I remember that it was a development deal, and the label was paying 10 grand a song. So I say that because back then it was $10,000 to go in the studio to record one song. So you worked tirelessly because that song cost so much money you couldn't do very much. Now you can just put out 1,000 songs a year and hope that one of them sticks. So like to your point, it's a different world because there's a different level of sort of cost behind all of it. Like going in the studio was something you used to have to work really hard to just get to the point that you could because too much money was leveraged in too many ways. Now,
Right.
if the song or the session sucks, you just go into Logic and do another one tomorrow. Like it's all throwaway at some point.
Yeah, these kids these days, and God bless them all. They're pumping out songs, man. Like like the faucet is running. But me still, man. Like I said, I'm just the older guy, and I'm gonna relax and make sure that my projects and the things that I put out are just they feel like they did when they were when music was at its greatest point. I'm gonna take my time. I'm a perfectionist. Got that from Dr. Dre and won't ever let that go. And I'm just make sure that everything is super quality, man. And I owe that to my fans, and I just owe it to the game in general. Everyone has to do their part, and not just in music. You know what I'm saying? Coaching or being an athlete. Like those guys that were athletes, in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, man, they had it tough, but they really, really got to it. I think. On a wide scale, artists in any genre and athletes were just getting a little bit lazy with the appreciation and just the overall you know we just got to get back to where it feels how it felt. I think that's just my take on it.
And you've got one of your brand new projects, Documentary 3, your latest studio album is coming out soon. What
Yeah.
can some fans expect from that one?
You can expect this to be one of the best albums of my career. You see how serious I got all of a sudden. The smile stopped. It's like he said. I've been in the studio for a little over like a year and a half, really perfecting this album. I might have a few days left just to fine tune it, but I'm gonna put out one of the greatest rap albums ever this year.
Mm. I remember one of our producers saying that the record's never done. It's just when you finally give up on trying to tweak it, man. It's just congratulations to you. That's great work. All right, so let's play a little game. We're going to play a game based on the game, and this is going to be simple. Game recognizes game. So we're going to name a sport accomplishment, and then if you respect it and it's real, that's game coming from the game. If you think it's overhyped, fake, corny, not to be trusted, any of those things, it's not game. All right, so you got
Yeah.
this concept. You're ready for it. All right, let's start with the Clippers. They've turned things around after a terrible start. They're barely outside the play-in tournament. Game recognizes game. Are you going to salute the Clippers for what they've done? Is this real or is it fake to you?
You know what? I'm gonna salute the Clippers for turning it around and doing the thing, man. James is a good friend of mine, and again, I think he at this point is probably number somewhere in the top 10 on all time scoring. And so with a guy like that on the team, man, I don't think it could ever be a cap. I think they're really playing hard and trying to do something great over there.
All right, let's stick on the hardwood then, because LeBron just turned 41, but he's super vocal about how much he loves golf. He got a golf simulator installed in his house. He watches golf on YouTube all the time. So LeBron falling in love with another sport. Game recognize LeBron's golf game?
Yeah, game is definitely recognizing game's golf game. Cause look, I'm gonna tell you, like Jay would tell you, as you get older, as a man, we start to find ourselves doing things that we would never do when we were young. Now, I made my mother's gumbo from scratch last week. And so just imagine that. Like, I started off as, a street kid and then I came into the game as a gangster rapper. Now I'm over here, Rachel Ray in my way through life. So yeah, LeBron, do your thing, man, on the golf course, man.
Dude, that is so
Hey, I
perfectly
know
said by
how
you.
hard it is I know how hard it is to make a gumbo, so game recognized game to that.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely hard.
look, Gabe, again, I love being transparent on there. We were having a conversation on this show behind the scenes a couple of weeks ago about, because you and I are about the same age, the version of Snoop Dogg I grew up with, hell of a lot different than the version of Snoop Dogg we got today, right? Like the
Hey,
version of Snoop Dogg that I grew up, not nearly this one.
I got this thing that people keep asking me about Snoop in a few interviews that I've done about, our camaraderie and our friendship over the years. And I tell them the same thing, man. I said there's three people in the world, man, that every single person on earth knows, and that would be Jesus, Michael Jackson, and Snoop Dogg, man. So, my LA hats off to him, man. It's like you're trying to tell me, man, is if it ain't soup, then it's insurance. If it ain't pizza, then it's WWE. If it ain't WWE, it's the Olympics, man. Like Snoop, I told him, man, I said, you're going to get $1 from every business in the world, man. And he like, yeah, for sure, cuz.
I mean, if you could invent a time machine and go back to the early 90s and tell every middle-aged parent in the world, by the way, Snoop Dogg's going to become one of the most influential pitch people of all time, they never believe it.
Nobody would go for that.
Oh, it's amazing. You've been incredible. By the way, the recent project, Gangsta Grills, Every Movie Needs a Trailer. That was a mixtape, came out in December. Check it out. While we wait for documentary 3, when it comes out, when it actually hits, you got to come back, hang out with us, talk to us some more. 49ers in the Super Bowl, you got to come see us there too, brother. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on all of the impact you've made in your life with your music, and thanks for hanging out with us.
Love you, man. Thanks for having me.